Hi, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and today we're going to be talking about how to use your eCom planner. So as you can see, there's like the ring light effect that's over the cover, but you won't have this circle that's on the top. This is so that we can showcase the pages that are inside of the planner. So when you first receive your planner, this is your first page. It has just a little bit of information about the planner. Over here, you can write in who it belongs to. And on this side, you have information about the copyright. So just keep that in mind as you continue to use it. Okay. So you'll find that there are e-commerce tips throughout the planner for you to utilize. They also separate out the major sections of the planner. In addition to that, you will see that there are quotes that are also used to separate out the major sections of the planner. So you'll find a quote and an e-commerce tip throughout the planner. Okay. So when you first receive your planner, the thing we want you to do is just to go ahead and check out the welcome page. And then after you review the welcome page, the next thing you want to do is just kind of review the content. And then information about e-commerce sellers, some of the things that we do, some of the services we offer, all of that's covered inside of About eCom Sellers. All right. And I have to just adjust just for a second. Okay, there we go, I think. Nothing like recording and then having the process stop you in the middle. Okay, so now we're into the how to use. There we go. On how to use the planner. I think I lost my footing there. Okay, so we'll just bring this down a little bit. Okay, so the first page on how to use, it gives you some insight. The thing that we want you to keep in mind is definitely watch this training video, but it gives you an outline on how to use the different sections of the planner. So the different sections of the planner, you've got a yearly goal setting section, we've got a business plan section, and really your yearly goal setting section is what your current state is. And then you have setting up your operations plan. And then after you go through that, you'll see that there are monthly sections of the planner, and you'll have places where you can write in different dates and information that's important to you. And then there are, at the top of each one of the months, are 10 common items that are sold within that month. You can use that information or discard it. For some, it may be helpful. For others, it'll be like, I already know that. Then you can establish your monthly goals, if there's a goal that you want to establish that month. Income producing tasks that you need to complete in that month. Your admin and VA tasks that you want to address or take care of that month. And then also your marketing and ads related activities for that month. So when you think about some of these, like you may not be really thinking about the income producing tasks. This might be a great place for you to go ahead and establish how much you want to make, how many listings you want to create, what your target is for the number of listings or shipments, fulfillment orders, or ads. Maybe you want to start a VA or you want your existing VA to take on a new task. So this is a great place to put that information. In addition to that, you'll also have the little calendar at a glance, a place where you can write down the daily goals you want to accomplish. So if nothing else happens today, what is the one thing you want to get done? Because sometimes we have those kind of days where we can't get anything else done. And then a month at a glance so that you can take a look at that. And then here you'll see where you enter in all of your tracking information. This is where you put in your listings that you do each day. The number, and if you track by SKUs instead of listings, then we have a place for you to enter your SKUs, the number of items sold that day or the number of sales you got, your profit for that day if you're keeping track of that, the number of orders fulfilled that you actually fulfilled that day. And so there's so many great things, the mileage that you drove, that you can keep track of on a daily basis. Makes it easier to go back and just see where you're going in your business and how you're progressing in your business. Okay. In addition to that, You have places throughout your calendar where you can write down your morning, afternoon, and evening tasks that you want to get done. If you are a person that uses time blocking, this is a great place to put that. And you can, we'll give you enough space to break it down in 30-minute blocks. So if you break it down in 30-minute blocks from 7 to 7:30, 7:30 to 8, 8 to 8:30, or maybe you're a person that you're overwhelmed if you put too much in there. So we've left it open for you to be able to write just the things you want to get done in the morning and the things you want to get done in the evening. So if you like to do time blocking, there's space for you to write down the time blocks. And you have time blocks for morning, afternoon, and evening. Or again, if you're a person that only likes to just keep track of, what you have to do in the morning, afternoon, and evening, then you have a place to be able to do that. You also have a place where you can establish your priorities for the week and your habits that you want to track. So if this week your priority is to get all of your Christmas items listed, then this is a great opportunity to do that. Like if you're selling Christmas bundles like I do, then I might want to write down that I want to get my Christmas bundles done that week. In addition to that, anything else that you want to get done. And it may also be a good place for you to put down the priorities for the week. Like if your child is maybe in theater or band or participating in any type of sport, like maybe you have to buy uniforms that week. Maybe you have a gala you need to attend. Maybe there's a church function. So it's not just necessarily just for business, but just also a place for you to remind yourself of things that need to get done that may not be directly related to your business. So you can put your priorities for the business tasks for that week. Maybe that week you're training your VA on how to create listings, how to do product sourcing. Maybe you're acquiring some new software that week. And so you want to spend that week learning the software and then the next week training your VA on how to use it. So again, setting your priorities for the week and then the habits. So what are the things that you're not doing that you really, really want to start doing on a regular basis that you want to get a hold of? So some of those things might include, like maybe from a personal standpoint, you're not drinking enough water. Maybe you're not walking enough. Maybe you're not being consistent on creating listings. So again, this is a way for you to track that with your habit tracker. Your inventory pages. The inventory pages are there for you to be able to track your inventory. So one of the things that you could do in the inventory section is you can create your own personal legend. What I mean by that is if there are stores that you source from, wholesale suppliers that you source from a regular basis, maybe you give them a 2 or 3 character name that you put in there in the spot for the name of the supplier or the source of where you source something from. And so again, it gives you a way to track some of your information around your inventory. In the budget section, you can track what's happening in your business. How much money are you spending and how much money are you taking in? So again, tracking that information on a monthly basis and actually on a daily basis. If you're keeping track of what's happening in your business, you can come over to the budget tracker and put that information in there. Also gives you opportunity to put in your projected and your actuals. So again, if you want to make 10,000, maybe that's your starting number. And then you can start going down the different columns and see if you reached your goal for the month. Okay. Month in review. This is where you can kind of assess how you did for the month. And are there some things you want to do differently? You need to fix, you want to adjust. So in the month in review section, that's where you can put that information. You can look back and see what your accomplishments or your challenges were for the month. You can also plan forward. What are the things that I need to start doing this month? So again, in the month in review, that's where you will put that information, the things that you want to start doing. And then the brainstorming page is just a place for you to, if you want to doodle, you can doodle there if you have some ideas. Maybe you have some thoughts about packaging for maybe your private label product. Maybe you have some ideas around sourcing for a specific product in the next month, or something that you ran across that you thought was pretty cool. Like, I think this idea is really cool and this might be the best time to be able to source that. So again, any thoughts, feelings, ideas about your business, how you feel you're progressing. If you just want to doodle, if you want to sketch some things out, if you want to write down phone numbers, contacts, it's just a blank page for you to be able to put that information. Okay, and the daily holidays, monthly holidays, and international holidays, those are set up so that you can use that to generate sourcing ideas. So if you are a person that's challenged with what do I sell, what do I source, then you can look at the daily, the monthly, and the international to be able to try and figure out what it is that you potentially want to source. Now, I do want to tell you, my suggestion is always to source in advance. So if I'm looking at the daily and it is happens to be January right now, then what I might want to do is I might want to look at March so that I'm a couple of months in advance and I can actually begin a sourcing strategy for sourcing for products in March so that I can list those items in March. So on my calendar for February, I will probably put down that I'm going to do product research for March and for my March products, or in my if it happens to be, since it's January, if it happens to be February, I might put down that I need to start sourcing for April, or I need to start sourcing for May. So sourcing 2 to 3 months in advance is never a bad idea. And it also gives you some ideas to be inspired by based on what people might be doing, activities that might be happening, or things that people might be buying. In the notes section, again, that section is just for you to write down your thoughts, your feelings. Maybe there are some additional holidays that came up. Maybe there was a major event that happened that year that you really want to make a note of, but maybe it's not a national holiday, but you feel like, you know what, this is going to be something that we're going to commemorate over and over and over again. So again, those types of things could be helpful for you to note. So you can put that in your notes section. If you're challenged with trying to figure out the terminology for different things, you can use the terminology section to kind of do some quick research. You can Google those terms or the meanings of those terms so that you can get a more in-depth understanding of what that is. On the sourcing page, it gives you an opportunity to write down your sourcing thoughts and feelings around potential products or ideas. And you can break it down by month. So in April, I want to come up with some sourcing ideas around Easter. Well, we know that because Easter happens in April. But maybe there was a specific supplier that you liked. So when you are working on your April sourcing, then you might want to put down, this is the supplier I want to go to next year. Or as you are thinking about your product sourcing for the end of February, but one of the things you might put down is, sourcing, don't forget to grab the clearance for Valentine's Day, because you can use some of those items in the clearance for Valentine's Day for Mother's Day products. So again, you can write down anything that you feel like is going to be helpful in your business. You can put down which month it would actually be helpful in your business, and then come back to this page and reference it on a regular basis so that you can use that as you are beginning to source for that particular month. Okay. Then hashtags and keywords. As you're creating listings, there might be some keywords that people are searching or using to search for products or ideas, especially around the holidays. So this is just a page where you can, where we've given you hashtags and idea and keywords. You could also use your brainstorming page to know any additional hashtags or keywords that are helpful to you. You can also use the notes section for hashtags or keywords. And you can also put some of your hashtags and keywords in the sourcing page as well. So there's so many different places where you can put that so you can reference it for next year as you create your listings for whatever happens to be coming up. If you're a person that loses your passwords on a regular basis, you get frustrated because you can't find them, you can use the password tracker to find those passwords. We've also given you a place where you can write down the URL for those. Year at a glance, another place for you to look at what's happening next year and make some plans around what activity you need to be doing. And then e-commerce tips. So the e-commerce tips page just goes through some common e-commerce tips based on the platform or e-commerce method. It doesn't cover all platforms and it doesn't cover all e-commerce methods, but it covers the most common ones. So you can reference that and maybe use some of those tips in your business to help you along your journey. Okay. So again, your first thing is to go ahead and fill out your current state of what's happening in your business right now. Make a note of those things. Answer the questions. Be as honest as possible. So these are two completely different questions. So the first question is, okay, what's your selling platform or platforms? So you can just write that down. Then, and you can want to make maybe you want to make a note that next month you're starting something new, like maybe you're going to try print on demand. What's your most productive time of the day? When do you get a lot of your work done? Like you might actually currently be working in your least productive time of the day. So when you get up in the morning, try to pay attention to when you feel like you get the most stuff done in general, just in life. So maybe the morning is your most productive time of the day, or maybe the evening after the kids go to bed is your most productive time of the day. Make a note of what that happens to be. And we covered that in the annual eCom planning session. So you're welcome to go back and watch that. And then how many hours in a day do you have available to work in your business? So some of you may have, you may determine that you have 4 hours available, but then the question becomes, how many are you actually working? So the next question is, how many are you actually working? If you have 4 hours available, but you're only working one, what is it that's happening that you're not using those other 3 hours to work in your business? There might be a valid reason for that, or maybe there's not a valid reason, and this is an opportunity for you to increase your awareness and to go ahead and start using that free time that you have available to you. Okay? And then how much of your time in those hours that you're actually working in your business are you doing income producing activities? So there's a difference between doing income producing activities and then doing things that could potentially bring you money, but they don't really. So creating a listing is definitely something that brings you money. If you create listings, you'll definitely make money. If you don't create listings, but you just do a bunch of product research is no good to you unless you do something with the information. So product research can potentially bring you money. So it could potentially be an income producing activity, but the actual income producing activity is creating the listing so people can find it. So how many of the things you're doing actually are going to make you money or allow you to keep money? So shipping the product to your customer is an income producing activity because then you get to keep the money. So versus thinking about shipping. So write down the actual income producing activities you're doing in your business. And then how much time are you investing in those income producing activities, things that actually bring you money or allow you to keep money. Okay. Then the next after that, establish a budget. Have you done that? So these are things again to increase your awareness. And the next thing is your goals for the new year. Just kind of high level. We didn't take a deep dive into it, but just some things to think about. What are you from a person? We have your personal and your business. So what do you want to start doing in your business for the new year? What are the things that you want to improve in your business? And what do you want to accomplish? There may be some things you want to stop doing. So what are those things you want to stop doing that you feel like it's not making you any money? And then we have a place for you to write down a business plan. As you grow and scale your business, the goal is for you to grow and scale your business. Having a business plan is going to help you to be able to get funding faster. So you need to start thinking about a business plan if you really plan on growing and scaling your business. And so we've given you a place where you can start the process of building out a business plan. And, if you want to write this out in pencil, then you can erase it. You can come back and revisit it. But it's always a good thing to keep handy as you continue to plan to grow your business. And then you should also be thinking about the different strategies that you use in your business. So what are those strategies? What's your research strategy? What's your sourcing strategy? And again, as you grow and scale your business, this information can be used to help you write out operating procedures for your VA or anyone that you want to outsource any part of your business operations to. So again, having this documented, that'll help you get an easy reference so that you can figure out whether or not this person is going to meet the criteria or this service is going to meet the criteria based off of your current strategy. It doesn't mean that your strategy doesn't evolve and change, but again, it's just something to think about. All right, so now we are into the first month. You've got your January block. And again, you have places for you to be able to write. You also have key holidays that are already mentioned. These are mostly U.S. holidays, well-known U.S. holidays. And so you've got places to write this information out. You've got the days of the week at the top. And then on the other side, you've got listed here common things that are sold in the month of January. So again, giving you that opportunity to actually kind of give you some ideas, maybe be inspired. So we're giving you a lot of different things throughout this particular planner so that you don't have to think about sourcing. I mean, like you have to think about it, but maybe it's not as much of a struggle as it was before. And then your top goals. What are the top goals you want to accomplish? We talked about these in your setup. So here's placeholders for you to put them. And we've also given you a place where you can check them off. There's nothing like having a checklist to make sure that you've completed the things that you said you wanted to complete and get the things done that you want to get done. So go ahead and fill in what are your top goals for the month, your income producing tasks that you really want to accomplish, put in place, do change for the month, or the things that are going to bring you the most money. Your admin or VA or operations tasks. One of the things you should be doing every single month is reconciling your inventory, reconciling your budget, reconciling to determine, what your profitability was. And so again, what is something that you want to accomplish around that, or other tasks that you want to make a note of? And then marketing and ads, again, giving you a place if you're running ads to track that. Okay, so as we continue on into the planner, this is where you can use this planner, as we previously stated, to be able to track your morning, afternoon, and evening activities. If you're a person that likes to use time blocks, you can write in the times over to the side and then write the activity over on the side. So there's enough space here for you to do 30-minute time blocks for the morning, 30-minute time blocks for the afternoon, and 30-minute time blocks for the evening. So when I say 30-minute time blocks, that's 7 to 7:30, 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30. Then it goes over 12, 12:30. So you can see that you have places to put that. We didn't pre-fill that in. We will actually in the future have stickers. So if you want to use those stickers to fill that in, you can. It's just another way to keep track of the activities that you need to get done in your business for the day. If having something on every single line is too much, because you don't have to have anything on every single line. If you just want to do shipping, if this is 7 to 7:30, 8 to 8:30, what you can do is you can just put a line that starts with shipping and then it goes down through the middle. And if it stops at a certain time, you can put that, or listing. So you don't have to write on every single line. But again, if you're a person that doesn't want to track it by time blocks, then you have freeform space to write your activities you want to get done, including any personal activities for yourself or your family. Then your goal setting, what is the one thing you want to accomplish today? So if the one thing you want to accomplish today is to get, the shipments out from Saturday or from Sunday, then you can put that in that time box. If the one thing you want to accomplish today is get doctor's appointments set up for your kids, you can put that in that little goal setting blocks, not time block. Yeah. So you have the opportunity to put stuff in those blocks. Tracking. So over here, you have a place where you can put your tracking for your daily activity around your listings, your SKUs, your sales, profits, reworked listings, ads and promotions, expenses, mileage, hours worked, and shipments fulfilled. So as you write down these things on a daily basis, what that's going to do is as you flip through your planner, when you start seeing a bunch of blanks, that's going to start answering the question on why you're not getting the results that you want to get in your business. So if you have a lot of blanks on your pages, then that is the reason why you're not making the progress that you want to make in your business. You should be checking everything on a daily basis to see how things are going. You'll always know where you stand in your business if you're working in your business every day. So I encourage you to fill this in every single day. Over on this side, you have the priorities that I mentioned before. What are the priorities you want to accomplish this week? So you can put those up at the top so you can list what the priorities are. And then you also have habit tracking. So you've got little blocks there to check things off as you go along. What are the priorities you want to accomplish? And then again, the daily habits and routines you can check off as you make progress on those things for the week. And every single week, you can continue to see what your progress is. Again, if you're noting these things on a daily basis, what that's going to do is help increase your awareness so you can maintain and sustain the momentum that you're trying to get in your business. That's what this planner is all about. Building the habits of consistency, building momentum around that consistency and that habit and sustaining that momentum. So looking at this on a daily basis, you're going to say, okay, I'm making progress towards my goal. You'll be able to see your numbers from January to February, February to March, March to April, April to May. And you'll start to see that you're getting some level of consistency. You'll be able to determine what your slow months are and what your active months are based off of the products that you happen to be selling or sourcing. You'll also be able to see what's happening in fourth quarter for your business, which is October, November, and December. Because again, you're keeping track of what's happening in your business on a daily basis. Okay. So all of these pages are by the week. I'm going to keep going. The next place is for you to document or note your inventory. If you don't have inventory tracking, or you just have, maybe you're doing private label, so you don't have a lot of inventory that you have to maintain, then you can use this for some of your inventory tracking. Write down the product, the purchase date, the purchase source. So if this space is too small for you to write in, what you can do is you can create what I refer to as a legend for the letters for the source. So give it a short name. Give it 3 letters, 4 letters, whatever. Put that in the block, or just write out the name if it's short. The listing date, when did you list it? What platform are you listing it on? The quantity that you have. And then any miscellaneous or helpful information that you want to note about that particular item. It could be color, SKU, size, whatever. The cost of the item, the fees for that particular platform, and the selling price and your profit. So again, keeping track of that information on a regular basis. Some of it you may not initially have. So put in what you do have and then come back on a monthly basis and fill in the rest as the item sells. The next is your budget. So in the budget section, again, you can establish a budget and you can do projections. So you've got a place where you write down the date, the description for this, whatever the transaction is. Is this an income transaction? If so, where's the income source? So you can write the source here. So the income and source go together. If it's an expense, what category does it go in? So the expense and category go together. So if my income, it's income, what's the source? It's coming from Amazon. It's coming from Facebook Marketplace. It's coming from eBay. Okay. And what is the actual amount? Okay. Maybe you were trying to project that you were going to make $1,000 this month on Facebook Marketplace, but instead you made $700. So the actual, you can put estimated and actual. Same thing with expenses. So you may have monthly subscriptions. That's going to be an expense. And so category, you can put that as subscription. Other expenses like shipping supplies or anything like that, paying for your VA, that's an expense. What was your estimated cost if you want to do some projections? And then what was the actual cost? And then you can see what your balance is to see if you have enough money that you're making in your business every single month. So I encourage you to fill this out, keep track of that. The brainstorming page, again, was a page just for you to do whatever you would like to do on this page. So doodle, write down things, ideas, whatever works for you. Month in review. This is an opportunity for you to come back and just see what happened, how you feel about the previous pages. What happened in your business? What were the things that you were excited about, that you accomplished, and what are the things that didn't go so hot? And then from your tasks, maybe what are the things you need to carry into the next month? So do the month-end review so that you have some things that you maybe are going to carry into the next month for your business. All right, so then as I mentioned before, the blue pages, there's always a quote. And always a quote for you to review. And then a tip. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and skip through all these amazing months. Just going to keep skipping to get to the back of the book. Okay, so now we're at the back of the book. Each one of those months are going to be the same. So now we're into daily holidays. Again, this is an opportunity for you to do some planning. So I would encourage you as you're doing your monthly planning that you come in here and you figure out, okay, how far in advance do I want to potentially look at this daily holidays list? Do I want to look at it a month in advance, 2 months in advance, 3 months in advance? And if so, put it on your monthly activities. So in February, I'm looking at May. In March, I'm looking at June. In April, I'm looking at July. So I'm always 3 months in advance, or I'm 2 months in advance. You decide. And if there are specific holidays, daily holidays that you want to note, then you can begin sourcing from your wholesale supplier, checking out retail stores, searching online, doing Google searches for online arbitrage. Okay, so the daily holidays continue on. Okay. Now we're into monthly holidays. So the monthly holidays, again, a way for you to know what's happening every single month. It could be something you support. It could be something you could be sourcing, and it could be something that you could be selling products for, because clearly these are going to be holidays that are important. For me, Autism Awareness Month is always the big deal for me. And so autism sales or products for autism related products that support the autism community or that you use for therapies or anything like that, there's always deals in the month of April. So this might be products you want to source and then you want to sell if that's something that you support and or you know something about that community. You'll also notice in the monthly section that you have a place for trending trends that happen in that month. So again, the trends are in the last column. You can use that information to your benefit or not. You have international holidays. Okay, so international holidays. There are a lot of international holidays that there's a huge presence around. Chinese New Year, Diwali, all of these international holidays that sometimes we just don't pay attention to, especially here in the US, we just don't pay attention to it. And so these are opportunities for you to potentially make some money on those items. Okay. Then you have the notes section. So that notes section, again, for you to note down or write down the things that are helpful to you. Maybe there were some additional holidays or a big event that happened. And so you want to make note of that major event that happened. So I'll give you an example. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and there is normally around, I believe it was May. There were, was it May? It may have been June. There were about 5 years ago, there were several police officers shot on a single day. And so that is sort of a big deal. And that particular, every year, there's always a big, not necessarily a parade, but there's an event around it. There are people that commemorate it. There are people that want to support the police unions and the police around the U.S. And so I would make a note of something like that so that way I know that things to support the police might be something I want to sell around that time of the year because of that national day. So that's an example. Okay, terminology. As I previously mentioned, like having this information available to you. Just a reference is referenceable. Then you have sourcing. So you're sourcing, again, writing down the month or the date that's helpful. And then any ideas that you might have. So if you have a bunch of sourcing ideas around a specific thing, you can write them down. Maybe there's a private label product idea that you think this would be a great time to sell this product. So if I want to sell it, I probably want to start sourcing it before then. So writing down when is the best date to sell this product. And then if you have information about the source, where you're going to get it, or the research that you need to do, like who's the seller, meaning if it's wholesale, or maybe you need to go with the manufacturer, who's the manufacturer and how do you connect with them? Okay. We have the e-commerce tips. So again, it just covers generic information about the different platforms and the e-commerce methods. You could use this to your benefit. Next year, we'll have more. So again, I think there's only 12 here. And we have a couple of bonus tips at the bottom. Some quick bonus tips. Okay. The next is the hashtags and keywords. So we've got keywords and hashtags. You can use that information in your listings or on your social media posts, on your marketing. Optional tools. Again, you don't have to have tools, a bunch of tools to run this business. You can have a handful of tools that you use to run this business. Just know that you don't have to have a bunch of tools to run this business. It's not required. Okay. So if there are any tools that you think are going to be helpful, you can look at this list. These are the ones we recommend, and you can grab those tools. A password tracker. This is where you can write down the passwords that you often forget, or maybe they made you change the password. So we made the blocks big enough to where if you have to change your password 2 or 3 times or 3 or 4 times throughout the year, you can actually scratch out that one, write in the next password, scratch out that one, write in the next password, because it's very annoying what these platforms make us do. It's very annoying. Year at a glance. So just another image of the 2023 calendar. And then we have a place for you to just write general information, important dates, notes, contacts. Okay. We always have a quote. And then at the end, we've given you 2 bonus checklists. If you want to copy these or rip it out or use it over and over again, you can copy this and use it if it helps you on a monthly basis or a daily basis, just to make sure you got everything you want to get done. So it's big, it's bulky. Some people like using checklists to help them in their business. And so you can use that to help you on your business, in your business. Okay. So I hope this information is helpful and that you'll use it when you're working with your e-commerce planner. If you have any questions, you can always contact us at support@ecomsellers.com. Again, support@ecomsellers.com if you have any questions.